Hi everyone, I'm Helen Claire. This is Run Better with Yoga, and today we're going to take a quick look at how we can increase our foot and ankle mobility and how that can improve our running. So essentially, good mobility at the toes and the ankle is going to enable for a optimal landing of the foot, lifting of the heel and a pushing off of the toes that helps to efficiently drive us forward. So as we bring the foot through, we can keep the foot relaxed. Then as we land it, we want to land on the midfoot, allow the heel to lower. Then we want to really push off the toes, particularly the big toes. So that's where we need to have good flexion at the toe joint. Then lifting the heels back up to have that spring motion that propels us forward. So without that, we can obviously run, but running just becomes a little bit harder than it needs to be. So really, mobility here at the toes and the ankle, it affects our whole running gait. So let's have a look, take a seat, any kind of seat, just to have a look at the range of motion you have in the toes and the ankles there by dorsiflexing and then plantar flexing. Bringing the toes back towards you as well as the ankles. And then plantar flexing the ankles and pointing the toes away. Just seeing what kind of range of motion you have, whether it's easier one way or the other. And then in a simple sun salutation, we can get that full range of motion really nicely. So let's take a look. A simple sun salute. Start standing. Take a long reach up. Bend the knees, move at the hips to fold down. Step back to a plank. Here we have this flexion of the toes. Lowering down onto your belly. Releasing the toes back as you peel your chest up into a cobra. So here we have the plantar flexion at the ankles pointing away of the toes. We can increase that if we were to come into upward facing dog. Back through our plank into downward facing dog where we have this really nice dorsiflexion at the ankle joints. Please bear in mind your ankles don't actually need to come down to the ground. And then stepping back up to the top. All the way up to stand. So simple sun salutes, so good as a pre-run warm-up or as part of a longer routine. I have another free video all about sun salutes. You can go and check that out. I'll link it in the notes. Or grab yourself, get on track. Short 20-minute classes that help you to implement the right type of yoga into the right time in your day. And then we come back down to the ground for the toes and the ankles, sitting back on the heels with the toes flexed under. You might have seen me talk about this before. Such a great way to help increase flexibility in the arches of the feet, as well as in the toes and the ankles there. If this is too hard, you can take your weight forwards. Even hands on the floor. And then just work towards bringing your body weight upright over the hips. Really, we should be able to stay here comfortably for 5 breaths, maybe 10 or longer. Don't need to be here too long. And then releasing the toes, sitting back on the heels. So this also should be comfortable. Again, if it's not, you can take your weight forwards. If you feel really stiff here in this particular motion, range of motion of the ankles, then roll up a towel and place that in the front of your ankles there. Over time, flatten it out and see if you can come lower to the ground. You could try leaning back, starting to lift the knees up, just for a little bit of an extra lengthening there across the top of the foot and the front of the ankle. Great, so those are a few things to get started with. Check in with your range of motion in your toes and your ankles. Know that it's super important for an efficient running technique. Go and check out the other videos and programs that I mentioned. I hope that was useful. Let me know your thoughts, questions, comments, share it out with your friends. I'll see you soon.